Syrian Arab army targets terrorists in several areas, and the Iraqi army seizes new areas to the west of Baghdad. Meeting Kerry, Lavrov says there are no legal reasons for non-cooperation with Syrian government in combating terrorism. Turkish MP, Turkey facilitates the entry of thousands of terrorists to Syria. Daily Telegraph, Britain offers concessions to Qatar in favor of the security agreement recently signed between the two states. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Yarado Kikorian with the news in English. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov affirmed that Russia's stand is based on the necessity of combating terrorism on the basis of the international law, stressing that Moscow does not see any legal reasons for non-cooperating with the Syrian government in this concern. Following the talks he held with UN counterpart John Kerry in Beijing, Lavrov said that the US has its own way in dealing with the issue of combating terrorism without returning to the UN Security Council. He stressed that Russia reiterated several times that the international coalition's strikes against the terrorist organizations in Syria should be carried out after taking the agreement of the Syrian government. In Damascus countryside, Syrian Arab army units eliminated a number of terrorists and destroyed their weapons and criminal tools in Shura near Sasa. In Dar'a, a Syrian Arab army unit intercepted attempts made by terrorists to attack a number of military positions in Sheikh Miskin, Tal Hamad, Tafas Atman and Aqraba. Another terrorist attempt to infiltrate into Al-Madajan area in Al-Qunaitira countryside was also foiled. In Idlib, Syrian Arab army units killed scores of terrorists in Jisr al-Shughur and Kafar Najd. In Ein Al-Arab, our people continued to defend their city in confrontation of the ISIS attacks. Local sources said that ISIS terrorists were driven out of many positions by the forces of the People's Protection Units, which targeted dens of the terrorist organization in the western countryside of the city. Meanwhile, the Pentagon said that the coalition warplanes launched 2 strikes against ISIS gatherings near the cultural center to the southeast of Ein Al-Arab. In Iraq, the Iraqi forces continue its operations of eliminating the ISIS terrorists in several sites, as they have killed 5 terrorists during clashes south Tikrit. In Diyala, the ISIS killed 4 of their leaders because of what they call loss of confidence, while this terrorist organization is facing a crisis because many of its leaders were being killed of the same reason. The Interpol International Office has announced in a statement that Turkey allowed the entrance of thousands of terrorists to Syria, providing them with total support. Moreover, the Interpol terrorists expert said that Turkey facilitated the entrance of more than 15,000 terrorists to Syria and Iraq through its territories, asserting the existence of 300 terrorists from China. Turkish MP Muhammad Ali Adiboğlu disclosed that more than 1,000 terrorists crossed the Syrian-Turkish borders to Syria during the past 3 weeks. The Turkish Cumhuriyet newspaper quoted Oğlu as saying that the Justice and Development government recently sent huge lorries loaded with weapons from Iskenderun to Syria under the pretext of sending humanitarian aid. The British, the Daily Telegraph newspaper said that Britain offered concessions to Qatar in favor of the security agreement recently signed between the two states. A Czech paper also stressed that the ISIS was still taking huge funds from the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Kuwait. The paper affirmed that the Gulf states cover the expenses of the terrorist organization and fund its crimes in Syria, Iraq and other parts of the world. Meanwhile, Secretary General of the Security Treaty Organization said that thousands of European terrorists are currently being trained in special camps in Syria and Iraq before they return to their homeland. U.S. President Barack Obama sent a secret letter to the spiritual leader of the Islamic Republic in Iran, Ali Khamenei, last month, in which he recognized the mutual interest of the two states in combating the ISIS in Syria and Iraq. The Wall Street Journal said that Obama asked in his letter for the cooperation of the two states in combating the ISIS in Syria and Iraq and the support for Washington's coalition against this terrorist organization. In the same context, two U.S. officials said that President Obama asked for additional funds estimated at $3.2 billion to cover the airstrikes being launched by Washington's coalition against ISIS in Syria and Iraq.
Getting it to my desk.
Finally, the Russian Foreign Ministry announced that the negotiations round between Iran and the G5+1 on the political level concerning the Iranian nuclear file will be held in the Omani capital Muskat in the 11th of the current month. With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Nariman Qassam, but after a short break.